So, welcome to Swindon, the paradise that is central England, south central England. You don't really need to know very much more than that. As you know, you are in the realm of the Prince, Mr. de Beresel. His land stretches west is the west coast of England, as south is the south coast, as north is Scotland, and it stops just short of London. He's tolerated Mithras and everyone else and keeps things nice and clear. Swindon itself has lots of domains which you can enter and pass through without the need for permission. Of course, those three domains which almost act as a border that surround. You need permission to enter, but not for your safety, because there are no Sabbats, Anarchs, Lupines, unworthy sorts, because the prince has obviously obliterated them all and done this to ensure your paradise. You can pretty much feed in any domain that you feel sensible to. You are allowed to enter the prince's domain in Peatmore, although just because you can doesn't mean you should. And possibly think twice about going into the hospital. Brian can get a little bit tetchy, and he is quite fond of experiments. So, we find you all fresh neonates after succeeding or completing a very simple task with no risk at all the previous evening. You have all managed to find your way home to your havens, lick your wounds, or in some place staple your wounds back together. Well, in the case of a gangrel. So, we find ourselves a new evening fresh sour browse check for everyone. Let's see how quiet your beast is, or how much effort you need to bring them back.
Mine won't even shut up at 0.
There we go. Well, at least you all wake up. That hunger is just to let you know you're alive. Now, you know that the Prince operates Elysiums all over Swindon, and the majority of days. But there are some special days, and tonight is one of them. You've all been invited to the Thursday Elysium, which is in the Pinehurst domain, in the recycling centre, which some management consultant was paid a lot of money to come up with instead of dump, tip, or junkyard. Quite an active place. They have lorries, juggernauts passing in all hours of day and night, so I wouldn't wear any of your best clothes. But we have Nosferatu in the group. They have no need for this. Now, Flint, is there anything you will be doing to prepare? Anything you're taking with you, or very specifically, anything you're not taking with you?
I'm probably not bringing any form of weapon with me, not to my Elysium.
Okay. So, you know, Thursday, this is for the masses. There are no kindred of power there. This is the evening where you are all discreetly informed what actually happened over the last 7 days, just in case any of you have got a little bit of a foggy memory. The Harpy attends and spreads the good word. Kay, how about yourself? Any preparation, anything you're taking or not taking?
As much as I want to take something to Elysium.
Okay. And for yourself and for Arnold, remember the rules for Elysium. No blood powers, of course. And remember, Nosferatu are always welcome in Swindon, and people say this out loud at all times, because the prince loves all of his children. But as this is a celebration for the prince this evening, Nosferatu are required to either cover themselves and their hideous deformities, or their deep, dark, hideous souls, either by cover or artifice. So Mask of 1,000 Faces is perhaps the only power of the blood permitted during Elysium, because, quite frankly, you ugly. Arnold, anything you'll be doing to prepare?
Well, he wakes up. He has his little blood cup of tea and a china mug,
Of course.
just to get the day going.
Inside or on the veranda?
Inside.
Okay.
Yeah. Not on the veranda. Not tonight.
Okay.
Then he puts on his hat and pulls across his scarf so it covers most of his face and his pointy out ears.
Mm-hmm.
And then heads out to Elysium.
So what about the hands? I know it's we're not talking sort of short arms here or incredibly long arms, but you're going to struggle to find a suit that fits without
No,
some sort of
yeah,
tailoring.
the sleeves are a little bit short, but his hands are not too bad, so he doesn't need gloves. It's just very long arms.
Okay. Right, in Heimdal. So we find ourselves in the cold of winter. It's December. The year we set in is 2018 because we like horror, but we'll stick with that date before anything really kicks in. It's cold. As it happens, there's a full moon shining tonight. No clouds in the sky. Mortals are probably going to be wrapped up tight, so you probably want to put a few layers on, at least not to draw some eyes. So,
I wear my usual very warm pea jacket or pea coat,
mhm.
but I'm probably I'm putting on my Kevlar vest and my brass knuckles in my inner pockets because after last night I don't trust any of these people. So I have to come fully prepared for any possible damage. And I'm driving my large 7-seater car, bringing my bass, of course, and my amp in case there needs to be a show.
Okay, no, I like it. Just remember, the Prince's guards are always outside of important buildings, and they always seem to know who you are, and they always seem to know who might be doing something they shouldn't. So I'm just going to confirm those brass knuckles are definitely going with you.
Not just in my inner pockets.
Right. No, that's fine. It's fine. So,
They're mostly for show.
well, can you really brandish a brass knuckle without pulling at least like clenching a fist, and that sort of happens down the road?
It's more so I have an explanation why my fists hurt mortals so much.
Like it, the masquerade is definitely something we want to consider. So, Flint. How are you getting over there? Walking, car? If you say e-scooter, I'm probably going to have words.
What's the weather like?
Cold, but crisp.
I'll take a walk.
Okay. It's not too far from you. It's a nice evening. The air is clear. Mortals are too busy sort of hitting their Thursday night drinking to be too bothered. The sun is... it's quite...
Hopefully non-existent.
Well, I was just going to contemplate that for you, just to check. But no, we're in the middle of winter. 4:30, 5 o'clock. Probably a good 20 past 5 before you sort of head out. So it's quite early for December. Traffic is middling. You appear to, well, as always, a head on a swivel, just looking for people that perhaps are not moving in the same manner that the others are, perhaps aren't breathing out as cold as other people are. But you seem to be unmolested on your journey. You don't see a scourge, which is always good news. Now, what isn't so much in the way of good news is when you reach the recycling centre, because you start moving from residential to light commercial, then to industrial. There's smokestacks, there's heavy goods vehicles trundling to and fro. It's noisy, it's deafening. There's a myriad of multicoloured warning signs, all about different sorts of site security and PPE you should be wearing. But every step you take, the dozens and dozens of mortals that are all around shouting and getting on with their business, all seem to be looking away from you. No matter where you step, where you move, everyone seems to be ignoring you as you follow the red line through the myriad of other sort of lines in between buildings, stopping for the occasional wagon to fly by. You go down the usual alley to a set of stairs that cut into the side of a building. 2 floors down. The usual sign. A set of double doors, thick, heavy metal, and to each side, 2 gentlemen. Dark shirts, dark jackets, dark ties and trousers, dark overcoats, the completely unnecessary dark glasses and earpieces. As you approach, the doors are opened. No word is spoken. As you step through and the doors close, a hiss as a seal forms and the air freshens from the putrid industrialness.
Certainly a relief. And the smell of its head.
Through another set of doors, you enter the Elysium. The first time you entered, it was a little bit sort of anticlimactic. A very large room. You could fit 200-300 people if you had to, but just one oblong room. Polished wooden tiles on the floor, panelled walls, painted ceiling. Someone put a bit of love and attention to this about 60 years ago and then decided never to touch it again. Everything is scuffed and marked. At the far end is a stage, a set of stairs just to the left. There's lights dotted around, but it's in darkness. Just a small plastic seat, quite poor in comparison, with a small microphone on a stand. The actual seating in the building are cheap plastic tables, plastic chairs, no 3 match. They just seem to be replaced in the sort you'd leave out for the people you really didn't care too much about, because they're going to get broken, they're going to get messy. Why
Public
clean
municipal
them?
buildings.
Now, tables dotted around, 2 chairs at one, 4 at another. There's quite a few kindred here, possibly 20, dotted around, faces you recognise, but they all seem to be doing something different tonight. You'll see that some are sat at tables, some are stood, people are moving around and talking. At the first glance, everyone seems to be social. They're all buzzing around and chatting and laughing. There's a few sort of social faux pas, but everything seems to be going well. Can I get a wits and awareness? Probably difficulty 2.
There we
5.
go.
Right, trust the Tremere. They're dancing. People are sat, people are laughing, people are talking, but you seem to notice the pattern. If there's someone stood by themselves, they seem to be uncomfortable, unhappy, or keen to find someone. But as soon as they join someone, if one walks up to a couple, one of the couple move on and find someone else. Not deliberate, of course. They just, they're called away. They see someone who really needs to hear from them, or they pat you on your arm and say, "I'm ever so sorry. I promised a quick word to the killer cat that's just appeared."
Yes.
And they're moving away. But when there's one on their own, they're nervous. When there's 2, they're relaxed and talking and smiling. When there's 3, you can see genuine fear and terror in their eyes. It's almost as if 1 is a threat, 2 is fine, but 3 is a conspiracy.
Yes.
And people play this game with ease. They've obviously had a lot of experience doing this, but some perhaps do not. So there's a yelp from the centre of the room when they realise they've walked into an existing 3 and become a 4, at which point everyone stops. The dance halts, people look, and then, just as with court, we couldn't possibly have seen something like this, and people move on. Now, this is something perhaps the Nosferatu could have picked up on, but you seem to have had a very, very keen eye, and you do notice that there is one gentleman stood a handful of paces from the stage, looking directly at the stage, so you're stood from your angle, you can see the back of his head. Quite a big, short chap, but well built, sort of 5'2", but he looks like he's sort of oblong, built like a tank, broad shoulders, wearing a very thick, heavy coat. And as you look at the sleeves, it looks like he's wearing lots and lots of different layers of either tops or coats or some such. And you can see just from behind, he looks like he's got a fresh wound in his skull, not unlike the Grangrel you saw last night. Looks like someone's taken an axe to him, but he seems fine. Not moving, not saying a thing. But every now and then when you hear the scream, the yelp, it's not just when they're a little bit awkward. Anyone who accidentally says, yes, I must speak, when they realise that he's the gentleman they're about to approach, people recoil in terror. Some fall, some slip, some manage to pat him on the shoulder and say a few kind words before unfortunately being called away. The dance goes on. So, where will you be sitting? We have tables to the sides, right at the front, right at the back. I will
Probably about 2/3 forward on the left.
Okay. Just for the ease of use, if roll 20 is deciding to play ball today, which it very rarely does. So we have Mr. Flint. So the gentleman I've popped there, I've not put anyone else on there as they're flowing through. Heimdal, you've been here before. Your haven's not that far away. You almost share a fence in one place. You bring your way in. As you approach down the stairs, as you expect the doors to open, they stay shut. But one of the guards simply holds out a hand.
Slap it. Like, it's a handshake. What's
shake,
up, brother?
You shake the hand. As you let go, the hand stays there. But this time he does look to you.
Look a bit baffled and give him 10 quid or something. What do you want?
Inside coat pocket. 2 of them.
My burner phones?
Your knuckles, please, sir. The prince
They're
does
just
not allow weaponry, sir.
They're just fancy rings. I pull them out, still with a smile, and hand it to him.
I'm sure the prince will be very glad to hear that you brought weapons to his Elysium, sir. As they slide them into the pocket and the doors
It's for
open.
masquerade reasons, you see.
As you say, sir. I wish you a pleasant evening.
You too, man.
The doors close behind. The hiss, the clean air. Your clothes have probably got a bit of a funk, but to be fair, you live in a junkyard, so I wouldn't be throwing stones. So, as you walk in, you see what's going on. You see the dance. You see the man with the axe wound. You've not seen him before. He doesn't look too friendly, but you know how to put a good face on. So, where would you like to sit? Where will you find yourself?
Can I see Flint?
So if you have a look on Roll20,
Yeah.
see Flint just sat to the side over there.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk to the good doctor and say hello. Thank you for last night. Could have been more pleasant, but
Sometimes in extremis.
Okay, move yourself over to where you need to be.
I'm glad we get a do-over.
Yes.
Well, sorry to say it, but Kay and Arnold, I know it's a little bit of a faux pas, but you find yourself arriving together. Down different sides of the alley at the top of the stairs. What a coincidence. Right. I see a finger from Kay, which means I missed something.
It was just something I was going to ask to do.
Okay.
A bit package, so a text to a colleague, to me, those alleys.
That would explain why you were a little bit late, and that you arrived at the same time as Arnold. So we can deal with
I
that.
must have misplaced something because my weapon or something similar is somewhere close, but not on
It's almost
dumped
like
in an
you've
alley.
taken someone who you've bound against their will to stand somewhere very, very dangerous nearby for your benefit. So if something were to happen to them, it wouldn't bother your torturous
What else would they
dark
be doing?
soul. Yeah, that makes sense. So,
They're just holding it back.
who'd have thought it? The two Nosferatu in the entire of Swindon meeting all at once in this place.
Found them.
I think they're unionizing.
I am.
Hey, Kay. You still got the cat mask? It's a cool mask.
Like your scarf.
Oh, thank you. It's really nice. It's really quite long. It wraps quite nicely around me.
I do wish we could show ourselves, but
I know.
if it's the prince's words.
Exactly, and the prince is lovely and hosting this party for us.
That's correct.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you again. Hello.
No one there.
You hearing voices, Kay, as well? Or is that just me? Must be the guards looking out after us in this lovely club. Shall we go
I
in?
assume there's always two. Sure.
Yeah.
As you approach, the doors don't open as quickly perhaps as they do for other people. A cursory eye is passed over. And then the doors open. Thank you for hiding your disgusting appearance for the prince. The door
I look
perhaps
around
is-
behind me and Kay, wondering who he's talking to.
Be careful, because as you go in, the door is shut very, very swiftly. But again, the smell is gone. The air conditioning does its job, and it only reeks rather than stinks in here.
I think I might be taking in a bit of the sewer smell I might have brought with me. Bit of a fault of the travel, but no one will mind.
You took the underground route.
Quite private.
True, true.
Right then. Let's have wits and awareness from the pair of you as you go in. I don't know why I didn't ask the Grangrel. I assumed that he wouldn't be paying that much attention.
Oh, very much, but in a different way. I would like to try something alternative if I can.
Oh, just in a second. So,
Yeah.
2 successes, as we said earlier. We didn't expect you guys to be too observant. You can hide, but you can't spot. Good to note. Right, you see the dance. You can see that 3 would be a danger. Not so much the one, but you can definitely see that people are panicking at 3, and you both notice that nice, solid gentleman stood staring at the stage. He's looking at the mural that's painted all the way across the back wall. It's one of the treats that when Zhao comes on stage, they illuminate it, and you all get to appreciate his beauty. So, where do you sit? Where do you stand? Just for ease, the entire room has stopped, and they've all, except for the gentleman in the middle, everyone has turned around to look at you and not so silently judge you. There are murmurs, there are fingers, there are...
I look at Kay and whisper, I think we have gone too high-end dress. I think we should dress down for this event.
They will give them a... I would say a bow. It would probably be a shaky, trying not to break his clothes sort of bow.
Right then.
Right, do we join the other 2 we met last night, or is the for the crowd situation? And we should sit on the other side.
Everyone's interested.
or sit near them but not with them?
Well, you've got plenty of choice.
Just a table away.
Yes.
If you like to move yourselves where you'd like to be. In the centre of the room, with Arnold closest to that gentleman. Well, from your vantage point and from yours, Flint, the front of the face isn't perhaps as good as the back. So, no facial hair, pallid white skin. Now, you can see networks of scarring, as if other wounds have healed or opened, or the flesh has been moved in different directions or different ways.
Nice.
It's difficult to tell how deliberate some of this may have been, but the wound that he currently has runs very much from the centre of the forehead right down to behind the left ear. That there's a flap of skin that dangles down, and you can see something in there pulsing. He doesn't seem to be too bothered.
Can I just run a check, probably with a cult, just to see if there's anything deliberate and ritualized about the scarification?
Let's say it's one of our open-ended. So difficulty 1. The more you roll, the more you know.
A cult with which type?
Well, you tell me. Are you using your memory, your wits?
That's probably intelligent.
Are you using your strength? Are you pounding it out your head, saying, think, 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 think? If it works for poo. 3? No. Luckily for you, you've made quite a few different ritualistic incisions and marks in your time. This appears to be... This isn't deliberate. You can see that the angle of the wound, the tearing of the bone, he was moving when something happened. So, unless, I don't know, he was in a mosh pit and this sort of stuff happens, there's no pattern to this. So while there are scars, kindred tend to keep hold of what they had. But there are deformities which would puzzle medical science. A shoulder on one side is much higher than the other. One ear appears to be completely folded in. I know. Odd. As Kay and Arnold get to sit, Heimdal?
It's just, if possible, at some point, I'd like to scan the room, just the people in here, and if I can, if the guy, very mean-looking guy, is not distracting, try to get a feel of everyone's beast as well, to see the general mood and feelings. And
all right then. So, take sort of reading the room, as it were.
I'm trying to pick up on what people are feeling.
Well, insight is key to you, unless, of course, you're going to use activate the power of the blood.
No, I was thinking sense the beast afterwards, but the general thing I'm trying to capture here is emotions first. Just no powers.
Yeah, that would require balls, and you don't fucking do that, do you?
In a minute.
Fucking coward. Right. So, insight and resolve. More than anything, because you don't want to be seen to be reading. You're keeping yourself nice and still. So, make the roll. Difficulty 1. The higher you roll, the more bestial failures we have. I mean... No, that's 4. Everyone in this room is laughing. They're smiling. No one's dressed smartly. They're all... sort of functional clothing, but everyone is enjoying themselves. Everyone is so happy to be here. because of course we're celebrating the prince. May he live another 10,000 years. But you can smell terror. You can smell bowel-quenching terror when you see it. Everyone here is on edge. Everyone on here is at the cusp of fight or flight. As for the gentleman in the middle, you're not a nice man, Heimdal.
Can be.
You've done things which your beast quite likes about you. You've hurt people. You've taken things from people. You've had to decide when to apply excessive and immediate violence to resolve situations. But you know a stone-cold killer when you see one. You know someone who, without malice, would end the entire room after weighing up the sums. You might want to step away from this guy. So, the doors clang shut. The last few stragglers appear to enter and seat. Well, the last few that seems to be allowed, because as the doors shut, the last few chairs scrape. The lights illuminate the stage. Slowly at first, the loud clunking industrial ones as they slowly warm up. As the individual steps on the polished wood, the heels click, click, click. You can see the mural illuminated. The prince stood bare-chested, hair flowing in the wind on the back of what appears to be an enormous white tiger. The prince, one foot seemingly on one peak of a mountain, another foot on another, and in between, Sabbat, Anarchs, Lupines, Nosferatu, the filth of the world, all defeated by the prince, and just the sun catching him ever so right. Think Putin, Trump, Johnson, real totalitarian sort of nut jobs that just want to have everything out there, enormous murals for you all to celebrate him and the joy and wonder that he brings you all. Which is when the click, click, stump. As your eyes come back to Zhao. Business suit. Relaxed. Smart casual. A blue brooch on one side. Hair pinned. She offers that ever so soft and sweet smile. And it seems, as she glances around the room, she manages to catch each of your eyes. It's like you're drawn to her. It's like she's the only light in the room. It even sort of takes you a little bit away from that gentleman in the middle.
Also,
She smiles. The noise falls away. You're in warmth, peace. She dips her head, as if thanking the prince for this moment of tranquility. And then she sits and adjusts the microphone, the feedback breaking you from your reverie. Good evening. It is an honor and a privilege that you all come here tonight to celebrate him, to celebrate our prince. Another week has passed. It's been a heavy, heavy burden for the prince this week. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I would like to remind you all, although he would not, because he bears the weight of the world so that you, his children, know the peace and freedom that he never did. We must, with a heavy heart, relay the message about the Primogen, about Matthias the Bruja. It is true for those who were unable to attend last week that the Primogen of the Bruja himself took the stage and declared to one and all that he had plotted against the prince. Of his own free will, he begged forgiveness from each of you, and he shared his soul, and really he just wanted you all to know the follies of his actions, and his only hope is that through his frank openness with all of you, that you might learn from his mistakes. Now, Matthias is an old servant of the prince. He's been in court for centuries, and it hurt the prince deeply that one who he supported and cared for, who he loved, could plot his downfall, to plot insurrection. But Matthias saw the light in the end. So great is the love of the prince that Matthias was granted the opportunity to choose his own method of execution, which the prince permitted last Friday at Kevin's Elysium. He burned. He uttered no words other than his love for the prince, and it's a testament to his willpower that he uttered no word of pain, just love for the prince in his final words. Some of you I recognize were there. Some I do not blame you for not being able to go. It was, we'd like to treat it as a celebration of the prince's love for Matthias. Now, in the name of Matthias and the prince's love, we have announcement. We do not see any of Matthias's kin, any Bruja, with us tonight. So I task each of you to spread the word and to assist the Scourges to locate all of the clan of scholars, because the prince was touched by the duty of Matthias. I can say it no other way. The only problem the prince has at the moment is that every one of Matthias's clan will now remind him from now and forever of the son he lost. And to remedy this, in agreement with Matthias, the prince will invite all of the Bruja to come to him, or to his Scourges, who will of course bring them directly to the prince for a personal audience. And the prince will escort them himself to a neighbouring domain, London, somewhere in Scotland, anywhere abroad, outside of the prince's domain. And he will personally install them there and grant that prince, who holds domain, a personal boon for taking one of Matthias's kin. So it's very important that all of you keep an eye out for the Bruja, and of course direct them to the prince, to his palace, or to the sheriff, or the Scourges, so the prince can show them his love. But to good news. After such sorrow, the prince has an announcement. He wishes to offer a gift. A gift for those kindred who perhaps have not had chance to prove themselves. We have spoken to the Primogen Council and to the elders, the wise kindred of Swindon, and they have provided us the name of volunteers who will benefit from the prince's gift. So, reaches into the jacket pocket, pulls out a list. The glasses go on. Heimdal, to the stage, please.
Gonna get up with a smile, blow her a air kiss, and get up. Stand as far away from her as possible, but pretending that I'm happy to be there.
Well,
And no one is definitely looking for me.
well, you can feel the eyes of the entire room and that sense of relief of just, it's not me. But every step echoes and booms throughout the room as she gestures, come, stand next to me. She smiles, and she doesn't so much smile as just show you her teeth. She gently places a hand on his shoulder, pats you once. Good boy. Next, we have Kay, the Nosferatu. Please stand the other side of Heimdal.
What's up, handsome?
Stand up. Have just a quick who's looking. Oh wait, it's everyone.
Everyone seems to be watching, but they don't seem to be relieved. They seem to be very, very, very happy. Almost like they're enjoying something that's about to happen.
Of course, making sure to express sorrow for everyone else going past, that it's not their
Oh, clearly.
thing. Just sharing this moment with everyone. Making sure to touch them, make sure physical contact.
And of course, no one can recoil in fear or disgust from you because thank you as they touch your skin and play the game and perhaps add you onto a list. So, with a clippity clop onto the stage, before you even approach, and the next we have, oh my, Mr. Flint. I didn't think you would make a list of the worthy, but time will tell. Please do join us. I'm sure Hutan will be ever so pleased to see your progression. She gestures you to the stage.
So he walks up, seeming confused as to who this person is.
Well, for Heimdal, for Kay, you can see the looks on people's faces, and it's not so much the joy of someone about to suffer, but it's not so quite they're just relieved. I think it's just an ambivalence. They don't seem to be putting much worth in the Tremere. You approach, you clippity-clop to the stage. You come closer, Mr. Flint. You can stand on this side of Heimdal. We wouldn't want you getting too close to them. Oh, and of course, Griffey, if you would like to join us to the stage. Now, for anyone that's watching, it appears, like the mortals as you enter the Elysium, everyone now appears to be looking away from the gentleman in the middle of the room, who walks slowly, but sturdily, boots hitting heavily on the floor. There's creaks. There's some weight to him. But, you know, that sort of slow, sort of difficult to perceive speed that perhaps a juggernaut might have. He's just sort of building momentum. As he steps up to the stage perhaps isn't as sturdy as it could be. You can see that he's making this, every step puts a decent indent. As he just walks up, stands next to Kay, stares. Pretty much he's staring forwards as if daring someone something to offend him. You get a look at his face, and again, it's probably prettier than the axe wound, but not by far. After a few moments, oh yes, and the other nos, please. Up you come.
Arnold does a quick look around, making sure there's no others, and then me, and then gets up.
Everyone seems to pay a little bit more attention as you return to the focus appears on you rather than with Griffey. Are you going up and standing next to Griffey, or are you going to hop round next to the harpy?
I'll stand next to Griffey. He seems like a pleasant fellow. In comparison.
No, he's glaring forwards. He does look to you and he grunts. It's more than he's done for anyone else.
Hey, you right?
Goes back to staring forwards. Look, we have 5 volunteers. 5 of the prince's best. He is chosen for a reward. Of course, there's a couple of trifling issues that need to be resolved first. But we will be able to grant you your reward on your safe return tomorrow night at Elysium. All of you will get to stand center stage on the stone for all of Elysium to watch. You get your just rewards. Do any of you have any questions?
You could see Heimdal is he's trying so hard, and then just puts the
coward.
fist.
Fucking, go on, do it.
No.
I know you will. Fucking.
Okay. What's the reward?
You feel the intake of air in the entire room as all the dead bodies suddenly remember how to do this. As she turns and tilts her head. Would you not perform a duty the prince asked of you, unless the reward was sufficient?
Of course, I'm just minor boon, major boon. What are we talking here? Just, incentive. And,
Is not the prince's love incentive enough?
I thought we got that for free.
Well, she addresses the room. Perhaps
He loves all his children.
Perhaps some return that love easier than others. Perhaps some harbour a little bit of animosity towards the prince. Maybe perhaps they feel he hasn't done enough for them. Well,
Praise be the prince. Glorious he is, and always will be. Of course we'll do this. I'm just pulling your leg, Sean. It's fine.
far be it from me to cast dispersions on your true intentions. I'm sure the Scourges, they know enough about what's going on with you that, well, I don't need to say anything about that now. No. Surely, tomorrow, as you personally have been chosen to stand on the stone to represent this little coterie, as you will answer my questions and the Primogen Council. Now, don't worry, everyone. The prince's love is enough to go round for some. Once this coterie has performed the task, you are all invited, of course, tomorrow to see the consequences of their actions. And, of course, if any of you come across Bruja, please, you know what to do. So, please, gentlemen, follow me. As she stands, dusts herself off, smiles once to the gathering, then turns and catches herself wrapped in the mural behind you. A tear, crimson, forms and falls. She's genuinely moved at his love and beauty. You've seen this before, it happens every week, so I don't need to describe that too much. But you know the dance, you play the game, you wait for the tear to be wiped, for her to look round with true and total. And she leaves. You find yourselves following through a crude open door. You're taken around the back of the stage. It appears even less expense has been spent on this. Paid on this? What am I saying? You're in a room, 20 by 20, tight for the six of you. There's a circle of chairs, just as plastic and rotten as the ones in the other room. Sit. Griffey, as he sits, nearly goes through the chair. There's some weight with him, as I said. Is anyone refusing? Is anyone standing? Or
No,
are you all
no,
just
no.
finding somewhere?
I'll sit next to Griffey.
Smart move.
I'll sit on the Zhao side of Griffy.
Well, Zhao chooses to stand. As she walks behind, placing her hand, these lovely manicured, rather sharp nails, just on your shoulders and neck. Except for you, of course, Arnold, as you have the scarf, and she chooses not even to touch Kay. So, we have
She
this.
can't handle the sexiness.
Well, you've got to think. They find your intelligence far too alluring. You really need to protect yourself and protect them, because they don't know. They're not sure exactly what they can do. They're almost powerless around you.
I know. And don't mention the duodecimal system.
Oh, shh. Anyway, they're probably saying something important. You don't want to miss out.
Yeah.
You always miss out, don't you? You never quite know what they say, what they do. You're one conversation behind everyone else. It's like they all know the rules of what's going on, and you've got to catch up. But it won't be a problem. Oh, hang on. Shh.
Be fine. Shh. Pay attention now.
Heimdal. She offers a small scrap of paper, rolled up, tied with a wax seal. Open.
I'm gonna put my tongue out and pretend I'm a dog for a second, still smiling, and then opening it.
Good boy. So, as you open the scroll, simple. You can tell it's in red ink, but even with your nose, you know it's not so old. It's quite fresh, quite potent. It's just right simply, for those that are gathered, the shore domain. You will find the unworthy. Further past them, you will find water, then the tunnel. Clean, cleanse, do your duty, remove the unworthy. And then Prince Anton de Beredisil.
I'm gonna read it out loud.
Zhao leans down between Arnold and Flint. A message from the prince, just for you all. I'm sure none of you have any questions. She looks to each of you.
Just one. I'm not that smart. Are we talking kind or kindred here?
The unworthy.
I'm just a stupid dog. You need to clarify.
truer word has been said. You have all been chosen. There are no other directions. I'm sure the prince has adequate trust that you will do what you are supposed to do. Tomorrow night, Elysium, the halfway house. You shall answer questions before your reward. I'm sure everything will go smoothly. The prince has chosen wisely, hasn't he?
Prince always chooses wisely.
And nothing but. I'm gonna hand the note to Flint. You're the smart
What
one,
will the
yes?
question?
She reaches and gently pats you on the shoulder, ever so gingerly. I like lessers trying to better themselves. It warms my heart. She looks over to Kay. Sorry, pardon?
Thank you so much for this opportunity, as I lean a hand in to shake hers.
Wonderful. Now, I would suggest that for Friday, so Friday's where the Primogen will attend. It's the great and the good. So I think perhaps that a little bit more of this should be covered, as we can see. This is in the prince's name, and you wouldn't offend the prince, would you?
Don't worry, guys. I have a couple of ski masks lying around.
Excellent, excellent. She looks at you, handing the scroll over to Flint. I would probably give that back to him. After all, he's the one that's going to be held responsible for all of your actions.
Too much? Don't mind to question the heart.
So, as you have no questions, she glances at Heimdal. The door. You all know where the shore domain is. I'm sure it's well travelled by most of you. It's the sort of place lessers go. So if make your way, do what you need to, and 7:30 prompt. Try and dress smart, or smarter, as she gestures to Heimdal. And a veil, okay, a veil. Very opaque. You, Arnold, she winks. You carry on doing what you're doing.
Too kind.
Pulls up. She visibly feels dirty at the words she says. Mr. Flint, the Primogen Tremere will be attending tomorrow night. He will be asking questions. I suggest you perform well.
Understood.
She goes to look at Griffey, but it's like he's not there. Her gaze just passes through him as she turns and says, "Wonderful news. I'm sure you all know how to operate the door, even the Grangrel. We shall see you all tomorrow evening. Ta-ta."